Paul. Yes. It is 3 o'clock. I'm a little late getting to the study room, and it looks like I won't be able to take the bus back to that emergency bed where I've been sleeping. Yeah. Now, I had to go to the food bank today and had to fill out all new documentation about why I'm homeless. Yeah. See, it's one of these situations where I spend years and years and years sleeping in a homeless shelter, and then having to go to the food bank while at the same time making videos and documenting certain lawsuits that I was wanting to file. Oh. Now, it might not be important to you, but the very thought that I had to fill out new paperwork for 2019, yes, to be able to utilize the food bank, little upsetting to me. Now, here's a check from Jefferson County Jail. Yeah. Do you remember when I was transported across county lines and went to jail in Jefferson County? Yeah. On September 19th of 2017 at 5:20, I was released. Ooch. But actually it was 2:20. Yeah. There was a 3-hour difference on the actual date and time of the check because in 24-hour time, 17:20 is 5:20 p.m. Yes. Now, at the time of the arrest, I only had $13. Oh, and it was issued to me as a resident of the jail. Yeah, 10113 and check number 3564 release. Yes. Now, you might not have seen the video, but I had a big problem with being put in jail in Jefferson County for a 2-count criminal complaint where I had asked law enforcement to find out what it was about. See, I wasn't cyber stalking when I was emailing the documentation, right, that I wasn't in Sequim, yes, and I wasn't in Jefferson County. And I wasn't violating the protection order. It was my responsibility as the respondent. Yeah, warnings to the respondent. Violation of provisions 1 through 6 of this order with actual notice of its terms is a criminal offense under Chapter 26.50 RCW and did subject me to arrest multiple times. The problem is on December 31st of 2015, yeah, I was in Port Angeles, Washington. Now, I've been subject, yes, to arrest multiple times where I wasn't in Sequim, Washington, and I wasn't in Brennan, Washington. Now, you might have remembered that when you issue a check for 5:20 p.m. and the bank closes at 5 p.m., yeah, I actually was able to cash it so that I could get my $13, so that I could catch a bus back to Port Angeles, so I could sleep at a homeless shelter. Oh. Now, I mentioned that putting the wrong time on a check was floating the funds. Yes. Why don't you get me every check issued from every jail in the United States of America? I'd just like to know, what was the actual release time of every person that was an inmate? Yes, a resident of each and every jail of the United States. Now, I thought for sure I had a lawsuit about this because we, myself as an inmate, and the employees of the bank that cashed it, we didn't realize that the time on the check was after bank closing hours, and technically, they didn't have the legal right to cash it until after that time on the check. Now, I mentioned that lawsuit, and it might not be a big one unless I find out that inmates in jails throughout the United States have been getting their funds released back to them. Yes. But the date and time on the check does not coincide with the release. Now, I was very upset that I had to go to the food bank today. I thought this was a lawsuit. Yes, check number 3564. Po. Operator DF408. I didn't like going to jail. I didn't like it that the police departments had received actual videos from me. Yes, on June 16th of 2017. And then when I had communicated that it's my responsibility, oops, as the respondent, See, there's this problem with day and time. Yes, this was actually faxed before the allegation of the crime. hmm Now, I have been subject to arrest multiple times where you had the evidence that I wasn't in Swim, that I wasn't in Brennan, that you're enforcing a fraudulent protection order where I had been emailing you for approximately a year before I was, and you decided you're not going to enforce the laws. Now, if the violation of the protection order involves travel across a state line, or the boundary of a tribal jurisdiction involves conduct within the special maritime or territorial jurisdiction of the United States, which includes tribal lands, you may be subject to criminal prosecution in federal court under 18 U.S. Code 2261. Now, we talked about extradition, didn't we? You seem to not feel any binding on your conscience when it involves an oath of office. Now, this concept of being bound, yeah, I put U.S. Code 5, yeah, the actual oath of office right now. Now, I'm going to want to know every check for the last 20 years that was issued to each and every inmate of all jails. Yeah. And then I'm going to want to know their actual release times. Because, well, what are you doing with all those funds? I mean, a lot of people, they go to jail. They have hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars in their pocket at the time of the arrest. Now, I really did not want to have to go to the food bank. See, that bank was really nice. The tellers there, I remember the experience. Ooh, I got myself some coffee. It would have been such a tragedy, yes, if they had realized, well, I'm sorry, Mr. Budnick, you won't be able to cash this until tomorrow. I would have been stuck in Jefferson County all night, and I wouldn't have had a place to stay. It seems like you don't mind torturing me right now. Tormenting, harassing, and molesting myself and my family. Now, a violation of provisions 1 through 6? Yes. 17 or 18 of this order is a gross misdemeanor unless one of the following conditions apply. Yes. Any assault that is in violation of this order that does not amount to assault in the first degree or second degree? Yes. Well, obviously, there couldn't have been an assault in Sequim, Washington when I wasn't there and there weren't any witnesses. But you would have tried me for that, wouldn't you? You would have called the petitioner to the stand that didn't sign the protection order. He beat the shit out of me. And he needs to go to prison right now.